Of the thousands of people murdered each year in the United States, many decedents remain unidentified, including murder victims and individuals whose death is via natural causes or accident. Approximately 40,000 decedents remain unidentified in the United States. The cases of unidentified victims within this article are those of individuals discovered in Texas. In most of these cases, the murders remain unsolved. Mr. X, 1972. On December 11, 1972, a rancher in Johnson County, Texas, was investigating an area where buzzards were circling when he discovered the nude body of a young, white male. The man had been shot to death with a small-caliber handgun approximately 1 week prior to the discovery of his body. He was estimated to be about 30 years old and was approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall. He had short, curly, brown hair. His weight and eye color could not be ascertained, as various foraging animals had caused extensive damage to the body. He was soon buried in a pauper's grave in Rose Hill Cemetery in Cleburne, Texas. In 2013, his body was exhumed for DNA analysis. The DNA Doe Project was asked to assist with the man's identification in May 2019. So far, he has gone multiple rounds of DNA extraction and sequencing, with unusable results. He is currently slated for another extraction. Harris County John Doe, 1973. A white or Hispanic male between 15 and 18 years old was found buried in a Harris County boat shed in August, 1973. This youth is the only still unidentified victim of serial killer Dean Corll, who, together with 2 teenage accomplices, killed at least 28 boys and young men between 1970 and 1973. This decedent was between 5 feet 2 and 5 feet 7 inches tall, had dark brown hair, approximately 7 inches in length, and is believed to have worn multicolored, striped swim trunks, boots, and a shirt displaying a peace symbol. These items were found near his body. He had received good dental care, and had never received any teeth fillings in his lifetime. It is known that he suffered from a mild form of spina bifida. DNA testing conducted in 2008 did not match any missing person report. A forensic examination of the remains of this decedent, in addition to the circumstantial fact that he was buried between 2 identified victims of Dean Corll, killed in August 1971 and July 1972, indicated that he was most likely murdered in either 1971 or 1972. Forensic anthropologist Dr. Sharon Derrick has stated she has reason to believe this victim may be named Bobby French, adding she has received an anonymous package containing a series of photographs potentially depicting this individual taken shortly before his murder. Disco Dan. On April 3, 1970, the partial remains of a young white male were discovered in a drainage culvert in Hewitt, Texas. He had been shot to death. The man was estimated to be between 20 and 30 years old, was 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighed 128 pounds. He had light brown hair with a mustache and goatee, and brown eyes. He also had 3 tattoos. One on his upper left arm of a cross inside of a heart, one on his left forearm that read, Peace, and one on his upper right arm that read, BB. He was found wearing a long-sleeve button-up shirt with a white and blue pattern, Levi brand jeans, white tube socks with red and blue stripes, brown Wellington boots, a necklace made of white buca shells and large black beads, and a silver Snoopy medallion. Investigators believe he had been killed elsewhere and deposited at the location. He was buried in an unmarked grave in McLennan County Restland Cemetery, however the location of his body is unknown. Walker County Jane Doe. A teenage female whose body was discovered approximately 6 hours after she died on October 31 or November 1, 1980. Henry Lee Lucas has been named as a potential suspect in this case, although a bite mark found upon the decedent's shoulder was inconsistent with Lucas's dentistry. She was estimated to be between the ages of 14 and 18 years old with brown hair and brown or hazel eyes. She had claimed to a waitress that she was 19, but the waitress did not believe her. She was described as wearing a yellow pullover sweater and red-heeled sandals. She was also wearing a square or rectangular pendant necklace with a smoky blue or brown stone. The necklace was found on the body and the shoes were nearby, but none of her clothing was located. When her body was found, it was determined she had only been dead for several hours. It is unknown if the girl had actually been conventionally raped, although she had been viciously sexually assaulted with a large foreign object. A truck driver had seen her body on the northbound side of Highway 45, about a mile north of the Hitch and Post truck stop. The waitress who spoke to her claimed the girl told her she was from the Ernsts Pass Rockport area, but no missing persons were reported in that area around the time of her death. Harris County Jane Doe, 1980. On December 10, 1980, a young African-American female was found lying under a mattress, under Interstate 45, about 6 miles north of downtown Houston, Texas. Investigators could not find a conclusive cause of death. She was estimated to be between 16 and 26 years old, was 5 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed 135 pounds. She had black hair styled in cornrows and pigtails, and brown eyes, as well as scars on her left wrist. Residual pink-red nail polish was found on her hands, and there was evidence that she was a nail-biter. She was found wearing a pink pantsuit with a vest, and 2 necklaces, one with a dog tag-shaped pendant, and 4 bracelets. Investigators believe that she may have been a victim of the infamous I-45 killer. Harris County does, 1981. A young man and woman who were found in January 1981. They were killed approximately 2 months earlier and left in Houston. Grimes County Jane Doe. On October 29, 1981, the partial skeletal remains of a teenage, white female were discovered by a TXDOT worker on Farm Route 244 in Grimes County, Texas, just south of Iola. She had died of blunt force trauma to the head, and had been dead for anywhere between a few months to 5 years. She was estimated to be between 13 and 19 years old, was between 5 feet 1 inch and 5 feet 5 inches tall, and weighed 110 pounds. She had red dark auburn hair, and had evidence of previously healed fractures to her ribs, breastbone, and toe area. Investigators believe she was right-handed. She was found wearing pink bikini panties, a ring with a replica $20 American gold piece, and a white towel. She was found wrapped in a large plastic bag with a rag commonly used by mechanics inside, as well. Investigators believe that her body was stored in a closet for a few years before moving the body to the location. Investigators also searched the area for missing children, however none were reported missing at the time. Plainview Jane Doe. On February 16, 1982, the decomposed and nude remains of a small, young, African-American female were discovered on a dirt road in the desert, just outside of Plainview, Texas. Her head was not found at the scene, nor recovered. She was initially suspected to be white, but admixture testing later proved she was of over 50% sub-Saharan descent, most likely indicating she was African American. Cause of death was not determined, but is believed to be a homicide, as she was found with her hands bound behind her back. She was estimated to be between 19 and 21 years old, was between 4 feet 9 inches and 5 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed between 95 and 105 pounds. Henry Lee Lucas claimed to have been responsible for the murder, however his confession is not considered to be plausible. A few days after the body was recovered, a skull was discovered in the same area. Investigators believe that the skull belonged to the unidentified woman. However, when DNA testing was done on the skull in 2015, it was determined that it belonged to a different person. The DNA Doe Project was asked to assist with the woman's identification in May 2019. Montgomery County Jane Doe, 1983. On May 13, 1983, the decomposing remains of a young white female were discovered by a group of schoolchildren in a wooded area behind a 76 truck stop on U.S. Route 59 in New Caney, Texas. She had been killed by 2 blows to the head, which caused skull fractures. She was estimated to be between 15 and 22 years old, was 4 feet 11 inches tall, and weighed between 78 and 95 pounds. She had long, dark brown hair. She was found wearing a pair of Shades brand designer blue jeans, a tan Wrangler brand long-sleeve t-shirt, and a pair of white panties. The area in which her body was found was a spot typically used for tractor trailers to park. Harris County Jane Doe, 1985. On August 12, 1985, the body of a Hispanic female aged between 16 and 35 was found inside a vacant store. Her body was discovered alongside that of a man who was identified as Thomas Rodriguez, and her death had occurred hours prior to her discovery. She was between 5 feet and 5 feet 2 inches, and weighed approximately 120 to 140 pounds. Other distinctive details regarding this decedent include 2 sets of distinctive earrings she had worn which contained beads and shells, a tattoo of the letter V on her upper left arm, and a scar resulting from her gallbladder being removed. A necklace with an arrowhead and turquoise stone design was also found on the girl's neck. It is unknown how both victims were placed at the scene. Bexar County Jane Doe. On March 26, 1986, a black woman was shot multiple times and left near a railroad. She was between 18 and 25, standing 5 feet, 11 inches tall. The body had gone undiscovered for approximately 3 weeks to 3 months. The motive for the murder was apparently an argument. Angel Maturino Resendez, a serial killer, confessed to her murder, claiming he had also killed a woman's boyfriend, whose remains are yet to be found. The woman wore a white gold ring, a striped blue short skirt, and a flannel jacket, which was also striped. She was believed to have been native to Florida, her first name reported to possibly be Norma. The woman, along with her boyfriend, has never been identified. Resendez apparently killed 17 others. Liv Oak Doe, an African-American subject, 20 to 30 years old, who was likely a trans woman or a drag queen, was pronounced dead after being transported to a hospital when found unresponsive on July 10, 1986, in Houston, Harris County, Texas near Texas Southern University. The cause of death was strangulation, which may have been done with pantyhose. The subject was dressed in pink pants, a gray shirt, and a black belt with spikes. A pair of socks was under the shirt, likely used to mimic breasts. A heart tattoo containing a scroll was on one arm, and the victim's fingernails had been painted gold at one point. 4 earrings were found in each ear, a ring with a clear stone, a ring without a stone, a silver chain, and 2 gold-colored necklaces were also found. The victim may have had a drug history, as needle marks were visible on the arms. The DNA Doe Project was asked to assist with identifying the body in January 2020. As of January 22, 2021, it was announced that Live Oak Doe has been identified. New York Billy. On August 3, 1986, several persons in Crater Lake observed what appeared to be a body floating in the water. When authorities responded, they found the decomposed body of a young white male. He had been shot to death and had been dead for about a week. He was estimated to be between 20 and 35 years old, was approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighed between 130 and 140 pounds. He had long, reddish-brown hair and his left earlobe was pierced. He had 3 tattoos. one of a small devil with a painted tail on his lower left arm, one on his upper left arm with the word Liz, and one of a flower design and Baby Dawn on his right arm. The tattoos were described to be of poor quality. He was found wearing a pair of blue Levi brand jeans, a brown short-sleeve sports-style shirt with a tag having the name Wilson written on it, and an earring of unknown description. After the man was killed, it appeared that he was tied to two cinder blocks with an electrical cord and then deposited in the lake. He may have gone by the street name, New York Billy. He was exhumed in 2015 in order to analyze his DNA and make a forensic reconstruction. Milam County Jane Doe. On November 4, 1986, the skeletal remains of a teenage white Hispanic female were discovered by a telephone company repairman in a grassy area alongside U.S. Route 77, 7 miles south of Rockdale, Texas. She had been beaten to death, to the point where her face was unrecognizable. She had been dead from anywhere between a few days to over a week. She was estimated to be between 12 and 16 years old, was approximately 5 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed between 90 and 100 pounds. She was only found with a yellow metal ring on her left hand. Her remains were exhumed in 2006 for analysis, however the maxilla and jawbone were not found in the grave. Photographs were taken of the bones prior to her burial, though investigators say that without these two bones, a traditional 3D reconstruction cannot be made. A sketch could still be made of the victim based on the incomplete skull, and DNA phenotyping may be able to provide a digital likeness of the girl. Tarrant County John Doe, 1987. On October 10, 1987, the decomposed body of a young white male was found in a field in an unincorporated area of Tarrant County, Texas, close to Benbrook Lake. Cause of death could not be determined, however investigators are treating the case as a homicide. He was estimated to be between 25 and 40 years old, was approximately 6 feet 1 inch tall, and weighed between 140 and 150 pounds. He was found wearing a Lands' End brand short-sleeve, pullover, knit shirt with a white stripe, a Brigade brand plaid, flannel, long-sleeve shirt, a pair of blue bikini briefs, Lee brand jeans with a laundry mark reading, LP Brennan 50118, a pair of dark socks, a worn, silver ring with flat blue and red stones, and a Granatron brand gold watch, without the band. A pair of athletic shoes and an unfired .32 caliber cartridge were also found with the body. Investigators believe that the man may have come from Indiana, Massachusetts, Mississippi, or Tennessee, and may have used the names Thomas Jeffrey, Jeffrey Taylor, or Joseph Taylor, in order to gain food and medical care. White socks. On November 15, 1987, the skeletal remains of a young white Hispanic male were found in some tall grass near the north shore of the Twin Buttes Reservoir in Tom Green County, Texas. Investigators could not find a cause of death, however, have deemed it a homicide due to the fact that he was found wearing clean socks in a grove of mesquite bushes. The man had been deceased for anywhere between 5 and 6 months. The man was estimated to be between 17 and 30 years old, was between 5 feet 6 inches and 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighed between 145 and 175 pounds. He had dark brown hair and a possible case of mild spina bifida. He was found wearing a pair of Levi brand jeans, a pair of jockey shorts, and a pair of clean white socks. This has led to his nickname, White Socks. In May 2019, the DNA Doe Project was asked to assist with the victim's identification. Rebel Ray. The skeletal remains of a male between the ages of 27 and 38 were found on October 3, 1988, in Georgetown, Williamson County, Texas, near an RV park. He died between a month and a year before, as a result of homicidal violence. He was white with possible Native American or Hispanic ancestry. His hair was dark brown with some gray visible. He had a healed injury to his nose and he was likely of muscular build, with a height between 5 feet 2 inches and 5 feet 5 inches. Although there was no clothing on the body, a pair of underwear and a hat were nearby. He was given the nickname, Rebel Ray, after the wording on the hat. Investigators suspect he may have resided in the nearby caravan park or was possibly employed as a handyman. The DNA Doe Project was asked to assist with identifying the body in May 2019. Collin County John Doe, a Hispanic male between 15 and 25, was found stabbed to death on December 15, 1988, in Collin County, Texas. He had died a day before his body was found abandoned in a culvert. He wore a motorcyclist's jacket and a white and gray striped shirt, along with corduroy jeans, loafers, and a belt with a multicolored buckle. He had a tattoo on his arm of the letters RYA inside a heart with an arrow through it, possibly representing a significant other or a family member. He was found wearing a watch, a bracelet, and 2 rubber rings. He was relatively short for a male, being 5 feet to 5 feet 1 inch tall. In his pockets, chapstick, a package of cigarettes, and a disposable lighter were found. Harris County Jane Doe, 1989. Approximately 8 to 10 hours after her death, a Hispanic female was located on Westheimer Street, in Houston, Harris County, Texas on December 29, 1989. She was 5 feet 4 inches and weighed 161 pounds. She was between 19 and 25, although she could have been up to 35. The victim wore black pants, socks and shoes as well as a white bra, panties and a pullover. Her hair was black and curly, approximately 20 inches long. Her eyes were also brown. A piece of paper was found at the scene that was written by hand containing some sort of schedule. The woman had been shot at close range in the head. After her body remained unidentified, she was buried in an unmarked grave in a potter's field. Nolan County John Doe on September 17, 1990, the body of a middle-aged white Hispanic man was found about 5 miles north of Roscoe, Texas, and about a mile north of Interstate 20 in rural Nolan County, Texas. He had received multiple stab wounds, both his hands had been removed and he had received extensive trauma to the face. His hands were never located. He was between 35 and 50 years old, was approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed between 195 and 200 pounds. He had receding dark brown hair with gray roots and brown eyes. He was found wearing a beige pullover, short-sleeved shirt, a pair of jeans, a reddish-brown leather belt with a silver buckle, brown socks, black tasseled loafers with metal brads across the top, white underwear and a rope-style chain necklace with a gold medallion with the imprint of an eagle. A pair of work eyeglasses with smoky gray frames were also found near the body. Tarrant County John Doe, 1992. On October 25, 1992, police officers found the body of a Hispanic male outside of a club in Fort Worth, Texas. He had been stabbed to death. He was estimated to be in his 30s, was 5 feet 6 inches tall, and weighed 150 pounds. This decedent had black hair and blue eyes, and was found wearing a pair of brown cowboy boots, gray socks, and gray jeans. A man was arrested for the Doe's murder in September 2007. It appeared the man had been dragged outside of the club, possibly by a worker who had been cleaning up for the night. Romeo Sanchez was accused of stabbing the victim to death while fighting with the victim inside of the bar. Sanchez had been a long-time person of interest in the case, but officers initially did not have enough evidence to charge him. Dallas County John Doe, 2002. On December 12, 2002, a survey crew discovered 7 garbage bags full of various body parts in a construction site in Irving, Texas. 4 days later, the man's head was discovered at the same location. Cause of death was believed to be due to the dismemberment. The man was estimated to be between 20 and 39 years old, was approximately 5 feet 5 inches tall, and weighed between 120 and 140 pounds. He had black straight hair and light brown skin. The bags which contained the man's body parts came from two stores, Carnival Food Store and Fiesta Food Store. Investigators believe that the bags were brought to the location by dogs. Chambers County John Doe. On April 28, 2007, the body of a middle-aged Hispanic man was discovered by a group of community service workers, found floating in Double Bayou in Anahuac, Texas. The man's wrists and legs had been bound, and he appeared to be taped around the mouth and head. He was estimated to be between 35 and 45 years old, was approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed between 150 and 165 pounds. He had short, black hair, a mustache, and brown eyes. He was described as having a medium build. He was found wearing a blue polo shirt with an Exxon logo on the sleeve, blue jeans, a brown black belt with a silver buckle, and blue sneakers. Kendall County Jane Doe. A female between 17 and 26 was discovered in Kendall County, Texas, on March 6, 2010. The victim's race was either Hispanic or Caucasian, possibly being a mix of both. Examination revealed that she had had a large amount of dental work as well as a previous open heart surgery. Deformities were also present on the feet. She had died between 1 year and a decade prior to the discovery. South Padre Island Jane Doe. The decomposed remains of a Hispanic woman were found on a beach, scavenged by coyotes, on October 10, 2012, in South Padre Island, Cameron County, Texas. The victim's body was likely exposed due to changes with water levels on the beach. The woman had been dead from 1 to several weeks before her remains were discovered. The sand above the body had been covered with lime, possibly to speed decomposition or plant growth, likely as a way to prevent the body from being found or identified. Her height was estimated to be 4 feet 10 to 5 feet 2 inches tall and her weight at about 95 to 120 pounds. She was middle-aged, approximately 42 to 55, at the time of death. One or more of the female's limbs were not found with the body, as they were likely carried away by animals. A distinctive feature about this female was that she had her makeup permanently tattooed on her eyebrows, eyelids and lips. Her ears had also been pierced. She was clothed, wearing a dark top, multicolored shorts with star decorations and bikini underwear, along with a sanitary pad. The woman's death is considered to be due to foul play, and a suspicious white-colored powder was found on the face region. Since her discovery, a three-dimensional reconstruction and a sketch have been created of the victim. See also List of unidentified murder victims in the United States. References. External links: The Doe Network, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, National Missing and Unidentified Persons System.